Yep. You having fun? As I said, it's very important. You can use them at different times, but this is very important in the martial arts. For men, the right hand is positive. Okay? Ask them to be quiet out there. The left hand is negative. For men, most martial arts are geared, in fact, all martial arts were created for men, by men. Women just got into it. And to the objection of a lot of Orientals in the past, years ago, women, in fact, in the Orient, in some places, they still aren't allowed to study it. They're allowed to do a woman's art, and they let them do it with the big bow stick or something. But that's positive electricity for my strike. This is negative electricity for my strike. For a woman, it's just the opposite. And we teach women the same in our dojos, and actually it's wrong. We can't get everybody to change in the whole world at once. But in reality, in a kata or form, when men go like this, they put the left hand on the outside. They go with this, they put the left hand on the outside. Women should actually be doing that. That feels uncomfortable to me. But for a woman, that would feel comfortable, because she's wired the opposite. So we can't get into that, but we can teach them how to strike properly. You got that? If I do a technique, here, come here. I want to hit with my positive to his negative side of his face. I want to hit with my negative to the positive side of his face. If I hit him like this, he'll drop. But if a woman hits him like that, he won't. He will not drop. It's only power. So in our classes, when I have you working, let's say, against a punch or whatever, if I have the men simulating this, the women do not do the same thing in the class. And you can all correct that when you leave here today with your women. Don't make a big issue out of it, but just say, look, I'm teaching this today, and the men are going to hit like that. The women are going to hit like that. Does everybody understand that? This is positive. Keep your teeth together. And this is positive. If I hit him like this, he only feels it, no electricity. But if I hit him like this, he drops. There's nothing for me to hit over here. I see people in magazine covers and magazines, and they're blocking and they're doing this. That's wrong. Wrong for proper fighting. You better have a lot of power and be able to put a lot of power in your move. But if you don't have a lot of power and it's incorrect, you're wasting emotion. But the one thing we have to correct in the martial arts is how we teach our women. And they're teaching women, knock the hands away. Can't be done. Hit him under the nose, nothing there. Hit him under the chin. There's a nerve there, but it's deep. It's deep. Boxers only hope to vibrate that nerve. Now, this is positive, this is negative. When I close them, they reverse. Remember, I told you man attacking man has a hard time. Keep your teeth together. If I hit him like this, he can take the shots. This is the way people fight. This is negative. My right hand is negative. That's why boxers feel so comfortable shooting out a left and only every now and then hit with a right, and they injure their wrist or break their right hand, even though it's wrapped up and in a glove. 99% more than they'll injure their left hand in a boxing glove. And it's only because this is bound negative electricity, this is bound positive electricity. And if I hit him like this, he can take it. But if I hit him over here, the electric shock. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And the pupils are dilated. If you're up front, you'll see his pupils got big right away, and it messed up his vision. And the electric went with it. So I just wanted to make that clear of of how that works. Okay, you can sit down. And so you got, now women can actually hit on the same side, on a man opponent. If it's a woman opponent, then they have to do the opposite again, because they have their own doing it. That's what you got to do. Thank you. Now take your break.
Mr. Dillman,
Yes.
you said that
Now, I got another explanation to give you, because this is very important. I want you to hear this, in case you go out of here and do this. When I hit and tap on this side of your head, got that? The left side, anywhere, if I hit you, it sends a neurological message. So those of you that I tap will only feel the message on one side. If I tapped you on that side, then you would tell me I felt it up that side. It is dangerous to hit both sides. Got that? Only because the electricity can shoot up and break a blood vessel if it's done with too much intent. It's safe to practice by tapping here. It's safe to practice by tapping here. It's unsafe to practice by hitting on both sides at once. But how many katas do you know that have moves that go like this? Wham! That's what you're doing. There's even one kata I have, the move goes like this, and goes like that, behind you. And I was told this is grabbing somebody's head and pulling it to my knee. I cannot pull your head down to my knee. Even if he's a young kid, I can't pull the head down. If I try to pull the head down, I can't do it. But if he grabbed me and I hit him with two of these, which is the same motion as in that kata, he'll be going out, and the knee will attack him in a pressure point in the leg to put him down, and actually, the turn breaks his neck. It's used to injure the head. Most people teach women to hit here. Keep your teeth together. You feel nothing. We teach to hit here. Feel electricity?
Yes.
Okay, next. We're just going to give you a tap. Yeah. Stay on this side so you get it. Just keep your teeth together. Feel it? Electricity shoot up and your eyes are blurry. Next. Make it quick. I'll just let you hear. Come over on this side. If you're on this side, stay here. You get over here. We'll do two at once.
First,
Yeah.
if a person's left-handed, does
Don't matter. No.
All right.
No, it doesn't matter. That's wired in the brain.
And you gave me a whole brand new perception of TV ministers.
Yes, exactly. Exactly, because I'm going to cover that in the next half. Keep your teeth together. If I hit you like that, nothing. You feel it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you'll know when I do this to you that a little harder would put you down. Or with more intent. That guy that I dropped, we were on there. I don't want to drop everybody. I just want you to feel no tight. You'll feel, keep your teeth together. No electricity. Here, help him, Captain, get him up. Yeah, help him and get him right. You're next. No, keep your teeth together. Understand I'm being nice. Understand I'm being nice. In a fight situation, if you grab me, that'd be that jaw. And if your jaw is open, I don't care. It's going to break it. This point that's right here controls that jaw hinge. If your teeth were open, now keep them open. I'm not going to hit you. I'm just going to, you'll see that it moves the jaw hinge. So if I hit him, I'm going to break his jaw up at the hinge area. The nerve that you're after, keep your teeth together now. I only have you have your teeth together so I don't knock them together. There's a nerve that's right here. And you can actually do this to people underneath and get that reaction. I am vibrating that nerve. If I really wanted you to pass out like I did the man before, I add this. Because the nerves that come into your face come in from this angle. They come in from this angle. And I would really hit and follow through with that angle. I'm just tapping you up. This is causes a knockout. We also, if we want to go directly after the nerve point, can make a knuckle like that, keep your teeth together, and hook in here, and go in after the point. You feel the same electricity. Next. Keep your teeth together. I'll just do your light. Keep it together. Nothing? Feel some electricity? Good. I don't like to do it to kids hard. Adults, I don't mind. Keep your teeth together. Now together. There you go. Okay. Does it throw you for a loop? Here you go, loop-de-loop. Teeth together. Look fine. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to tap you on the left side. Okay? Put your hands here in case you fall down. Keep your teeth together. I'm going to use my left hand. I'm not left-handed, but I want him to just tell you what he feels. He'll feel the electricity climb that side. Am I correct?
Yes, I do.
The electricity shoots up that side. For those of you I did with the right hand, you felt it on that side only. It's dangerous to do both sides. Teeth together. Next. Teeth together. You feel electricity? Everybody know why I did that? Yes. I got her electricity on that side. If I hit her on this side, she wouldn't have, she just felt thud, thud. Come here. In other words, keep your teeth together. This is the thud, thud. He feels thud, thud. Keep your teeth together. This is the electricity. That's the electricity. Got the difference? Thud, thud, electricity. Keep your teeth together. Now don't put your hands like that in case you fall and you break a hand. All right? You can see, and by the way, I can do this all over your body. I should be saving some of you for later on because I want to do other things. I have other moves. But keep your teeth together. This is nothing. You feel it?
I feel it. Right there.
I already have.
Keep your teeth together. You all right? We got onto this with the pressure points because women were coming back when I was teaching this. I was teaching pressure points. And women were saying, I don't know, it must be me. I'm not getting the same effect that the men are getting. And everybody was writing that off to, oh, she don't have enough power. But I wasn't writing that off that she doesn't have enough power. I was writing it off to, I don't know, we got to find out why. Because power is not the answer. To do pressure points, it only takes the amount of pressure that a 7-year-old child can deliver. A 7-year-old child can deliver the right move if he knows how and why. But that's why kata were created. If the 7-year-old child knew when he did one of these moves why he did it, he would be reinforcing his mind every time he made the motion. I've asked people that do just a simple turn in kata what that turn is for. And they come up, do you have a basic H pattern?
H pattern.
Yeah. Down block, punch, down block, punch, down block, punch, 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 turn. Do you have that?
Something similar to it.
Let me see it. Come up here. Go ahead. I like it. Good kata. Good. Now why? Go up there and punch. Now what's your next move? Do it slow.
From here.
I don't know. Right? Yeah, that one. Now turn. But see his hands. Do you see his hands automatically? Go back and do that again. What are you doing?
They told us it was blocking.
You're turning around here blocking. How do you know he's back there?
I don't know.
See? Yeah, lucky guess. But that's what I was told. I'm only telling you what I was told. I was told, and I'm going to be honest with you, I did not know this. It took me 25 years to find this. You understand that? I searched for 25 years and I asked everybody. And I was in the military at the time. And I sat interviewing people that come back from the service. And I said, you know, what was going on? They said, well, there was a room for the Orientals, there was a room for us. We were never allowed in there. And I said, well, I kept asking and asking and asking, getting the same answers. And somebody even told me, it looked like they were working on similar to what we're doing, but they had different meanings. So welcome to the School for the Oriental.
Thank you.
But did you notice, do this last move. Stop. How long have you been doing this, Kata?
I don't know, too long.
How long? 20 years?
15 years.
15 years. 15 years. Think how good he would be if for 15 years in his mind he had the right answer. That's why they left it go that way. It was a negative. This being a double block is a negative in my mind. As I learned it, how many when you learned a move said, well, I'll never use that? As you learn it, you know, whatever it was, you go, well, that's what I won't use. Well, exactly. If you said that, it's recorded in your subconscious as a negative and you'll never use it. But let me give you a positive for that right now, and you'll go out of here and can't wait to use it. Do your move. Now, look at his hands. Go back. Hold your hands like this for me. His hands went like that. Now, why? And then he turned the other way. I'm going to show you why. And you don't have another opponent. You're facing me. I might have struck. You might have covered it or blocked it. You might have grabbed me even to throw me or do something. If you go to grab me, remember I told you how the head divides. Negative electricity's in this corner, negatives in that corner. Positives in that corner, positives in that corner. If I try to grab somebody by the hair and pull him, they can resist me. Resist? He can resist. If I try to grab him on this side, he can resist me. But if I reach with this hand in the opposite corner, he cannot resist, and I could break his neck or throw him around the room. People in the UFC fighting were grabbing each other here, trying to throw each other and couldn't do it. They didn't know this. Someone just told him, you got to get over this halfway line with that hand to go to that corner, and we could throw him in all day long. Now, an opponent grabs you, let's say one or two hands. You ain't going to let me get to the opposite back corner. You're going to keep me at bay. Right?
Yes, sir.
If I reached for you, you'd stiff arm me. You'd do this. So I can't get the opposite back corner. But he did this. What does this look like, guys? Yeah, but the move he did. And now if I turn the other way, I would throw him into whatever. I'll just throw him and injure his neck if I do it quick. In other words, that's why you went like this. You didn't get to see that. Gupton, let me use you. Steve Gupton from North Carolina. If he grabs me, you did this first, right?
Yes, sir.
You learned to hit on the pressure point on the arm here. There's also two up here I showed you. That hand that did this is hitting that arm so I can get behind his head like that. Doesn't that look like what you did?
Yes, sir.
And then I turn the other way, and if I do it quick, I'll break his neck. I'll whiplash it, I won't break it, but I'll injure it. Now your kata turned this way. So I would grab, and I would actually hit on this arm and grab him here. And I would just step behind me and throw him down, whiplashing the neck. Does everybody understand that? Doesn't that look like the move? I have so many people tell me that when I'm doing this, they'll turn like this even, and they'll go, that's my next opponent. Who fights like that? Do you even think 1,000 years ago, and that's an excuse people make in the martial arts. 1,000 years ago they used to fight like that. Bull. If that were your next opponent in the street, wouldn't you quick go like that? How many people, okay? How many people would go like this? You wouldn't do it. But yet that's what they're teaching all over the world, calling it the martial arts. Martial means military fighting, strategy. It's supposed to be an art. That means depth. Do you ever go to a museum, see a fine painting? I mean, one worth $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $20 million. You look at them next time, because when you see one, we have been to fine museums all over the world, and you can see depth. You've all heard the Mona Lisa. We can really see her, which we have. She looks like she's really looking at you. That's fine art. It's not just eyes on a wall. Art has depth. Martial arts, the way most people teaching it, block, 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 has no depth. Everybody knows the answer if it's a block. You're a green belt. You know exactly what the black belt knows. He's got to have depth. Pressure points are the depth, because we can go all day and all night. I've taught 7-hour seminars, days long, and we can cover all the pressure points. That's depth in the art. And all of these have more and more meaning. Every technique has more and more meaning. And suppose he doesn't have hair, you say. Nobody said that, but you were going to ask. He doesn't have hair. I have two choices. I can take the head and I can crack him with just a touch, with the positive and the negative, and then I can bend his head and whiplash him. Sorry, he almost went to sleep on me. If you weren't paying attention, he was out on his feet, am I right? He was going to fall over. But I would use the ears. And I asked martial artists, you kneel down, I asked martial artists, what would you do if you grabbed this guy? He grabbed you, and he grabbed you. Where are you going to go? You can hit him, but you better be on a pressure bump, which I can do. But the kata covers these kind of moves. And that involves the ears. And people, when they work with the ears, don't know how to do it, because I ask black belts, how are you going to pull this guy's ears? And they tell me I'm going to pull him this way. I'm going to pull him this way. It's wrong. Positive and negative electricity run down the middle of his ear. The middle of his ear is divided. When I pull or pull, I get no result. But when I actually take his ear and tilt it backwards, I make the positive and negative, come over to this side so the camera can pick it up. I make the positive and negative electricity spark. So if he grabs me to muscle me, I get a hold of his ear and I simply tilt it backwards and pull him into here, and it holds over. It holds over. And on the way down, I would have tapped him with this, with positive into the negative, and he would have went to sleep down here before he hit the floor. And that's how you do it. You just tilt the ear. Can you get up? In fact, I'll let you all just practice. I don't want you pulling ears, but what I want you to do is take a hold of the ear and tilt it. Don't go any further. Let me use you a minute. I only want you people to do this. When you hold the ear, put your fingers behind the ear so you don't injure him, and make your normal fist with his ear in it. That's how to properly do an ear. Don't resist me. Don't pull. Don't pull. Tilt. You put him right in this position. He'll go right into that position with nothing more than a tilt. So you take the ear and you tilt. This is the dividing line between the positive and negative electricity in his body. I had to let go because he's an earring and I don't want to injure his ear. So I'm being careful down here. Normally I'd grab your whole ear to do it, but I'm holding his on a 3/4. And I just tilt like that. Pulls him like that every time, and I can take him back into my stranglehold or anything I want. Got that?
Sir.
And it's all done within 1 second. Actually, if you grab and tilt the ear fast, spark hits him in the head. Same as the spark I was hitting here. If I do it quick, the spark hits him like that. His vision's messed up, and before you know it, he's down and into a hole. Try the ear thing on each other. Don't hurt each other's ears, just tilt. Good. It's even common if I were going to fight this person, for this guy maybe to grab my arm to stop me. You know what I mean? And I just want to give you another explanation. There you go. Well, that works too, see? Another explanation for this move. I mean, so many people do this in the katas every day. And if you ask them what it's for, if they don't have a meaning, and most don't, am I correct? They don't have a meaning. Isn't it best you have some meaning? Yes. It entertains the mind. And it is possible for somebody to grab this arm. And if they grab that arm and you move towards you, they're liable to want to hit you with that hand. That's you can hit with that hand. This is going to be that move. Boom, boom, boom. In other words, when they grab that arm, we'll do it in slow motion. And a punch would come in, and they all ain't going to do a karate punch. They're going to probably have had that hand there punching. I had to wait for his a little bit. You're going to catch him on that hit point with this move. Now, doesn't this look like the opening move?
Yes, sir.
Understand? This looks like the opening move. And then the kata goes to here. You don't block a kick this way. His leg is 5 times stronger than my arm. The small bone of my arm is the easiest bone to break in the arm. It's 5 times harder to break the radial bone than it is the ulnar, depending on the person and their size. But this bone, why would you shove it at a leg as a block? And you don't block that way when you're sparring. You watch your students spar, and they'll do this to get out of that kick. They'll stop a kick like that or like this. They won't do that. If they do, it'll be a parry, but it won't be trying to stop it. But yet, the same motion, he grabs, he goes to hit. Here is 1, that other point, 2, and then we step for the home run, 3. And can you take a punch in this region?
We'll try.
I mean, you have a good solid stomach?
Usually.
Okay. I want to explain something. I'm going to explain something. Every body, every pressure point. In fact, put this on dojotv.com, because I hope George Foreman sees it. George Foreman was fighting Evander Holyfield, and we were sitting around my den watching it with a bunch of my students. And I was hitting people today on what we call stomach 5 in the center of the jaw. If you see the replay of that fight, and they'll show it every time there's heavyweight fights, they'll show you a segment of it. George Foreman hit Evander Holyfield in that pressure point. Now, he had gloves on, but he hit him in that same pressure point I was tapping you. And Evander Holyfield's legs buckled, and he got away from George. He came back in, and George Foreman hit him again in stomach 5, which is in the dead center of the jaw. George Foreman's knees really buckled, and he went against the ropes and got away. We were sitting in my den going, come on, George, one more time, fight's over. A nerve in the human body cannot take 3 hits. Do you understand that? It cannot take 3 hits. It's compared to a snake. If a rattlesnake bites him, he gets full venom. If the same rattlesnake quick turns and bites me, I only get 80% of the venom. And if it turned and bit a third person, they wouldn't get any venom. Very little. Third person wouldn't be affected as much, wouldn't die. That's the way a rattlesnake works. You have a protective coating. If you've ever cleaned a deer or an animal, you'll see this like slimy under the skin. That's there to protect the nerve and make it slide so you don't get neurological injury, banging things. And the nerve will move. The nerve has a juice out of that slime that releases to make it slippery. If I hit you on any one of these nerve points, one time, your nerve has 100% protection. 2 times, only 80% protection. 3 times, no protection. That's why in katas, there were 3 H patterns. There were 3 naihanchis. And that's why in basic katas, there was always 3 moves. 1, 2, 3. And that's why on the 3rd move, if you don't do it, you're supposed to, but you're to take an elongated step, a step and a half, and you're to yell and grip your entire stomach. That's why. Because the nerve has no protection. That's telling you that if you've hit somebody in the solar plex or the stomach region even, and you've hit him in the stomach region, the message is now step slide. The 3rd one is a step slide and usually a yell, because he cannot take your 3rd punch. Do you understand that? So any kata where you have 1, 2, 3, of any move, I don't care what it is, if there's 3 of them, the message behind it, there's a message behind your feet going together, there's a message for you stepping up, and there's a message behind the number of moves. He can tighten his stomach, and usually only the person receiving the punch feels the electricity go in further each time. And he can be in a good balanced stance. I ain't worried about that. When I tap him, he'll feel he takes the punch at surface level. Now he'll feel it go in. Do it. Am I correct?
Right.
Would you want the 3rd one full on hit with the step slide? No. In other words, if I hit him and hit him, that's why the unload and the yell of me to unload the power in that 3rd strike. That's why katas have 3 moves, and people don't understand that. You ask them why they have 3. Oh, my instructor even told me I'm training your left hand as good as your right hand. That's wrong. I'm right-handed. Why would I only practice 1 left? Why would I practice a right, a left, and a right? Shouldn't I practice 2 lefts if you want my left as good as my right? I should. It's not going to get as good. There's 3 steps for that reason, and usually attacks are preferred to the right side because of your heart influence leaning this way. Your heart center, but it has a slight tilt to this side. So it's easier to take somebody out on this side of the body. A little bit easier than on that side of the body, and only because of heart influence. And that's also why you do 2 rights, right, left, right, to tell that it's easier to hurt him over here than it is on that side. This particular art is called the death touch in China. My system, we call it kyusho jitsu. Tuite means grappling. You hear the word tuite. T-U-I-T-E. That means grabbing hands, grappling. But we don't grapple. We grapple with pressure points. We can strike to grapple, or we can grapple to strike. People don't understand that part of it. If he grabs at me, and I hit this pressure point, that's a hit. That's a hit. Now, I get my hit, I get him off. I might want to grapple from there. I might want to get him into a grappling to hit him. And this will look just like a move in a kata. Spear hand strikes, not to the solar plex, it's right to here. We have a pressure point here that if it's in and down, it's going to put the guy back and drop him if I keep his hand and hit him there. Going to drop him. So we can grapple to strike, and we can strike to grab. And that's what tuite means, grabbing hands. Pressure points work this way. When you did one pressure point, it caused pain. When you do two pressure points, actually, you haven't felt that yet, but the pain meets in the middle. Two make the pain meet in the middle. The people that I knock out, that's 3 pressure points. If I don't put them out all the way, which I didn't today, it's 2.5, we call it. Still better than 2, can't be 2. 2.5 pressure points. Does everybody understand how that works? 1 pressure point causes pain. 2 cause the pain to meet in the middle. He doesn't even feel the pain where he was hit. You follow me? First time it was done to me, I was grabbed at the wrist, the pressure point that you were shown, and I was struck in the shoulder. I went down and thought my elbow broke. The pain was so intense here, it overlooked there. Did you ever as a kid or something get hit in the arm and somebody hit you harder over here, you don't feel that one? Same principle. Same principle. We hit you here, we hit you here. You won't feel it there because the pain is running on the nerve, and where it crashes is where the pain is twice as much. 3 pressure points cause us a knockout. 3 pressure points, but they must be on the same meridian system or using what we call the cycle of destruction, the cycle to destroy the human body. You have a creative cycle for healing that's used by acupuncturists. You have the destructive cycle for hurting that's used by me. I've studied that intently, and that's what you must follow. 3 cause the knockout. 4 pressure points can actually stop or affect his organ, one of the organs, whichever one you're after. These are called the lung meridian, the large intestine meridian, the heart meridian, for a reason. We're affecting that organ. If I really get you on heart points and attack another heart point, it can send the pain straight into the heart. 4 pressure points entering pain to the heart will stop the heart from functioning. Because it was 4 pressure points, if you know what you're doing, you can bring the person back. 5 pressure points causes death, and there is no bringing the person back. That's how the system works. But 4 and 5 will not be done by accident. They won't be done by you today. It would take years and years of study of getting the 1 and 2 correct to get the 3. And then when you get 3 correct, then you'll understand that a 4th one, man, could really hurt the guy. Just what you've seen today. I mean, how many people have I dizzied, knocked out? I probably knocked out half the room here today. You're down. Well, would you want hit on the way down with 1 more pressure point? No. Or just before you go down, hit with 1, and then tread or kicked on 1 when you're down. And that leads us into legs, because we're now going to do legs and show you how they set up the upper frame of the body. Okay, you can go. Let me use you, and let me use you. Come up here. We'll just show you these quick. Is my scripto around? Did I lay it over there? Bring my scripto. It's over there. You can both face the camera, and I'll just show. People teach. In fact, let me get between you. This is what it looks like. People get, and they teach policemen to tread on the instep. Right? Military people, policemen, told to tread on this guy's instep. I just taught a seminar for police up in Canada. And he told me, I had this guy and he was resisting arrest. He said, I tread on his instep. He said this before the seminar. And he said, I tread on his instep 3-4 times, nothing. And I said, my God, you're not to tread on his instep, that's the mistake. What do you mean, he said. I said, that's what I'm here for, I'll teach you today. People teach to tread on the instep. This is the small, it's small, I don't want to say smallest, but it is the strongest bone in the human body. It's double packed with marrow and made to absorb shock. That's what it'll say in medical books. 90% of foot breaks in a hospital are never this bone. This bone is short, it is fat, It's double packed with marrow and made to take shock. I can hit. Oh, they feel it. But it doesn't break anything and it doesn't injure anything. But right here, is a gallbladder point. And it's at the round, turn your foot side that way. It's at the round of the foot. It's in where the flanges are for the small bones of the foot, not the large bone. If you see me hit their instep, the angle and direction is back that way. Back that way. As if I want to come out their heel on the opposite side. Angle and direction, if I attack that, it drops it. Which one do you want to use? You want to stand pound on his feet? Or you just want to go like this? And he's down to join you. There's a pressure point there. Right at the round. Right at the round. And I'm not going to press on that one because it'll get my finger dirty and get this ink on me. So I'll come over here, right here. It brings him down. Kata. Kata teaches angle and direction to attack pressure points. How many kata step like this? They will go like this. They'll go here. You'll go here. How many kata go like this? Many. That is teaching me the angle and direction to tread on this pressure point with my heel. My stepping puts my heel of my left foot out on the outside of his foot, not on the instep. When I step here, I'm out on that foot. When I step here, I'm on this foot. And if I do it exactly as in the kata, that happens. And I did not injure him. That's the good thing about pressure points. My videotapes I have for police. My humane tape is aimed at police. In fact, the Chicago Police Department are the people on the humane tape. They swear it saves lives, it saves policemen being injured, and it saves injury to the person they're arresting. Because they tread here, he's not injured. If I tread on his instep full power, there's... I might not injure it, but if I just go to here, and to here, that point actually makes outside his thigh weak. It makes his rib weak, where I showed you to strike on the floating rib. That point makes the rib weak. It makes it weak here. 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 That point is a gallbladder point. And gallbladder runs up the body, around the ear, all the way up this man's head. I have a move in the kata that moves the foot. And my hand travels like that, the back of my arm. I can actually tread on his foot, strike with the back of my arm, hitting him in these 3 points that are marked on this target. Up in the opposite corner are 3 pressure points. They're actually activated by this. The foot attacking is what makes them, if I stepped up and hit you in the head, you might or might not take it. The good thing about pressure points is, even the karate chop, when I get into it, I found out it was only 10% effective. I have 100 people in the room. I walk around and I hit you all with a karate chop in the neck. Only 10% of the people will fall down. I explained that very well on on my videotape 7. But you will knock the person down. 10% only. And it's usually the weaker people in the room. But by adding the pressure point and attacking, 90% of the people go down in the room. And weakness then has nothing to do with it. It's strength. The stronger the better. And it's knowing how to set these points up. If I step up and knee him in the thigh, he'll feel the knee in the thigh. But if I do this foot point, knee him in the knee in the thigh will put him down and cramp and Charlie horse the leg. But that's because this set him up. If I hit him in the floating rib, he'll go faster because this set him up. If we hit him in the head on these 3 points, he'll go down because that set up the action. So that's why we step in kata like this. We come forward with the heel aimed inward. That's to put our heel on the outside of our opponent's foot. And when we tread this way, that's this foot. So I would tread this way for his foot, and I'd tread the other way if I was over that foot. And even the crossovers that people do in kata are to cross over and get that heel right on that spot. When I teach at the police, you've seen the effect we have here. I'm in bare feet. If you're a policeman out in the beat and you have a shoe with a heel, you tread there and the guy goes down. And the real good thing about these points on the leg, they're highly active if the man's on PCP, where the ones above the waist are not. If the person has been shot, they've been beating people on PCP, they've even shot them with taser guns, it's been all over TV, they don't stop the guy. Here we found out that on PCP, they're totally numb above the waist neurologically. But for every strength, there's a weakness. And PCP here makes them weak below the waist. So if they're on PCP and you do a shoe tread there, they go down and almost pass out. They become the easiest person to arrest. And we've had police all over field tested. I don't know anybody on PCP. I've never even met anybody that I know on PCP. But police all over field test this and feed me the information. I have 25 people that are undercover policemen that train in these pressure points in the worst part of one of our major cities, and they train in this and they use these pressure points to stop people. Yes?
Yeah, I work in law enforcement, Mr. Dillman, and we usually are taught to attack the top part even when we're dealing with people.
Yep, well that's why I'm telling you.
Never stop them for some reason.
That's why I'm telling you, you got to go to the bottom half. Bottom half. Next point I want to show you, you two just sit down. No, don't sit over here, just sit down, sorry. Just sit down, cross your legs. Put your left leg out. So I want to do the right leg, I want to show. Halfway between your ankle bone, halfway between the ankle bone and the bottom of your foot. And you can all feel this on yourself. Right here, in the center, you'll feel an open nerve spot. Feel it? Go underneath your ankle bone. Go halfway between your own ankle bone and the bottom of your foot. Okay? Now give me the other foot. Did you have that on video? It's halfway between. Ankle, bottom of foot, directly under ankle, halfway. Right here is a nerve. It'll flip your opponent over. It'll want to flip him over. We use that not only in ground grappling, but we use it get our opponent to stop, maybe going to grab at us, hit at us. That's the easiest one to attack if you have on sneakers, gym shoes. You just lock your foot flat to the ground. That foot, that spot, controls that ankle. One that you can't practice much. You got to feel it, know it, but it's the reason when you do kata that you C-step and stay close to the ground. That's why the foot travels this way. You stand up a second. Roll up your pant leg. Just roll it up a little bit. And just stand, well, that's good. Just stand evenly on your feet. I'm going to tap in here, and you'll see the response. It turns the person's ankle out and kicks his leg out from under him. I did that with my hand. If I do that with my foot, he's going down, or his ankle will turn out so severely that he'll sprain it. I'm only showing you that. You've got to watch practicing that in the dojo or anywhere where you're not on a good mat. I knew I was on a mat, and I knew he'd fall on the mat. But that one should be in your mind every time you do a kata and you step. You're not C-stepping to get closer to an opponent or to go that direction. You are showing that if you were in close, this foot, my foot, is kicking that spot and going to land me here, and he's going to go down. With shoes on, I do not even have to be accurate. I just need to be somewhere under the ankle, and he's going to fall. And people have said, well, maybe you're doing the other one when you go back. No, you don't have any power from there to there. Your power delivery is here, coming at that foot, and then this one coming at that foot. So when you step, there's a reason. When you cross step, there's a reason. When you cross step, there's a reason. You're treading on these foot pressure points. And you use the feet in conjunction with hand and arm pressure points, ear pressure points, head pressure points. What would happen if I grabbed this guy by the ear, got him in an ear hold, and now kicked him under his ankle? He would probably, if I had him in a twist, he would probably injure his neck from his own body weight falling, because his foot would kick out involuntarily. Suppose I got him in a finger lock, and all of a sudden, well, you weren't supposed to go all the way down. You stand up. Suppose I got him in a finger lock, and now decided to do my tread. He can't go up and go down. In other words, his body wants to drop. That's why I let go of his finger, by the way, because I didn't want to hurt him. Because these do connect. They do connect. When you do a movement of kata that goes like this in treads, you got something going on with your feet and your hands. So you don't want to injure him. But if I got him in any kind of a hold, grappling here, one finger here, I get him in this, and then all of a sudden, wham, I tread on the outside. This is putting him up. That wants him to drop down. His own body weight will injure his joint. Do I understand that? And this spot's up here